You can probably tell by the title that this is not a very fun upload for me, but I wanted to upload it as just kind of an educational, like awareness video. If you guys don't know, Arlo has been trained by many different sources. There was a period where I was owner training him without much education. In that time, I was mostly by myself. I was starting to work at the place that I do most of my work now, but I wasn't necessarily like doing any of the training aspect of that location where I work. This video is, I would say, maybe the 5th time I had ever attempted to get his fainting response in public. Like I ever attempted to fake faint in public to get his response. I'd say this went better than it could have. I wanted to post this for you guys because in one of my, I'm not sure if it posted before or after this, but one of the upcoming vlogs, or vlogs that already happened, that is titled currently, They Called My Service Dog Ugly. In that video, we did do some training where we, both Michaela and I, fake fainted in public in order to get our dogs to respond. The difference between that video and this video is that in that video, we were both there. So there was quite obviously 2 people, both of them had dogs, they were obviously together. If somebody came up and saw us training, they would be like, what's going on? And then I could explain, she's training. Or she could explain, she's training. You know, we would have each other's backs. The difference is, in this video, the one I'm posting now, and the one I'm about to show you, is that I was by myself with Arlo. It was just us. The reason that I want to show this to you is because I do kind of want to let you guys know that this is a possibility. This is something when you are owner training and you don't have friends to go out with you or family who support you and want to help you train, this can happen to you. And maybe I'm hyping it up too much, but for somebody like me, this induced a panic attack. Almost directly after this, I started going into a laughing fit, which is one of my pre-anxiety attack symptoms. So not a panic attack necessarily, but an anxiety attack. And in this video, you can hear me start to laugh near the end, and that laughing just doesn't stop. And after I cut the video, I sat down and I had Arlo do DPT, and I just laughed and laughed and laughed. And then we left the store and I started crying. I wish that he would have known guide at this point, because if he was able to guide me out, that would have been great. It was a really difficult day. So, in this video, he does a pretty good response. What Arlo does for my fainting episodes is, first of all, he'll check me to see if I'm breathing. Eventually, the goal is to, if I'm not breathing, he will bark. We haven't really gotten that settled yet right now. He just kind of boofs a little sometimes. But the thing is obviously I don't really stop breathing. Like, I can't hold my breath for very long. And with my current lung issues, they recommend that I don't do it much at all. So there's that. But he checks me to see if I'm breathing. After that, he will lay down next to me. If I am breathing, he will lay down next to me for 3 minutes, which is how long my longest fainting episode that has been deemed medically safe. Like, medically safe meaning, like, okay, you're not gonna die. You're fine. Just, chill. Like, medically safe and normal has lasted. So, well, for my condition. So, after those 3 minutes, Arlo will then, if I still have not responded, we're working on getting him to bark if I am by myself. If I am not by myself, like if there is someone who came into the store with me, he will go and find that person. He knows find right now. He knows how to go find certain people. He knows how to find Michaela, my mom, and Charlie. At this point, in our training, the fact that he was able to lay down next to me and know, like, this is okay, I'm not going to freak out, is good. Because before this, he basically just would flip out every single time I would lay down. He would bark and freak out. So, I'm going to show you guys the video. I hope I didn't, like, traumatize anybody. Nobody else is shown on screen, just me and Arlo, so you can't really see much other than, like, our reactions to what's going on. But basically what happened in the video is we do a fake fainting response. I faint, he comes over, and I don't think he checks me, I think he just lays down, which is still good for at the time. This was taken months ago. I just haven't had the nerve to post it yet. So he lays down next to me, and somebody is at the end of the aisle, and they're snapping to whoever it is they're with, and they're saying, hey, like, this person's down, like, help me. And I'm like, oh, no, it's okay. And it was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever had happen to me, and I felt like such a burden for, like, the rest of the day, because I'm like, I just need to train my service dog. And there's nowhere else I can do it, and I don't have any friends to go with me to, like, protect me from things like this happening. So at the time, that was really rough for me. So after this, I didn't do it much in public until I had my actual team, like my program that I do now. I guess at this point, I'm just going to show you guys the video. I've over-explained it way too much already, but I feel like it needs a preface. I'll come back and say goodbye at the end of the video, but here it is.
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm training.
Oh, you scared the hell out of me.
Sorry. Good job, buddy. We were too real.
What happened?
I faked fainting so that he would, like, do his task because he's in training. And somebody thought that I was actually fainting.
Oh. I just heard something. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, no. Good boy, Arlo. You did good. So, I did apologize to everyone who was involved. So the original woman who came up and was trying to call to her friend, apologized to her. I also apologized to the employee who came up afterwards. Apologized to everybody involved. And I felt terrible. I still feel terrible. I get really anxious doing it in public now, and Arlo back there knows that, because the thing is usually he'll alert to me before I do it, being like, you anxious. So yeah, that's that video. Still probably the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me in my whole life. I know that it seems like a really little thing to some people, but I have horrible social anxiety, and this was just, I was already at a really rough point in my life training with Arlo because he was young and not getting stuff as fast as I would have liked him to, and I was uneducated. I didn't have my license or my training or anything, so I didn't know, what would work and what wouldn't work, and this, he did great, but I probably could have set it up better. I should have brought somebody with me. So just letting you guys know for future reference that if you are training your service dog yourself, make sure that you always have somebody who can come with you on training things. If stuff like this is something that happens to you, if you have like seizures or if you faint, if stuff like that is stuff that happens to you and it's very obvious to the public that something's wrong, maybe bring somebody with you who can explain to them, like, hey, this is, she's training right now, it's okay. She's training her service dog to respond to these episodes. It's fine. She's not having one. That sort of stuff is really important because obviously we want the public to respond. If we are fainting, like if somebody is fainting, we want the public to like know, like, hey, oh my gosh, help that person. But in this scenario, obviously that's not what I wanted. I wanted Arlo to respond. So it does get kind of difficult when you're training. I'm sorry for like over explaining the video. I just felt like it needed some sort of explanation as to why I was just randomly posting it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever I make next. And leave in the comments if you've ever had something like this happen to you. I've heard a lot of other stories from some of my friends about stuff like this, so let me know if you have anything similar. Alright, bye!